Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is a video that has been long overdue that I promised you guys like a month ago. I've done all sorts of gym rat stuff, basically I had super high cardio at one point, I did compound lifting, powerlifting, you name it, I've experienced it. But now more recently, I've kind of taken a huge tonal shift with how I approach my workouts, most of them being with dumbbells only. I would highly recommend checking out Mike Israetel on YouTube because this guy's got a fantastic philosophy. A lot of his videos are critiquing Hollywood celebrities and stuff, but he's got some really good insights to how you should approach working out. The main thing that we're going to be focusing on is a long, slow, drawn out eccentric movement. In short, this is a workout for longevity. It's something that is very sustainable into older age, which I'm not an old man yet, but at least I can keep doing this as an old man. And furthermore, it builds up resistance to injury, which is awesome. So I'll go into a bit more detail later, but let's start out with day one, which is chest and back. First, we're gonna be starting out with a bench press, once again focusing entirely on that super deep stretch. You wanna do at least 3 seconds down and then do a light pause at the bottom before you start the next rep. Your goal should be anywhere from 10 to 30 reps, so just lower the weights accordingly. This is not for ego lifters. Next, which you can barely see with this camera angle, I'm sorry about that, but this is an angled bench, once again focusing on the super deep stretch. And now it's the reverse angled bench. Basically, I'm leaning downwards, so it's supposed to be working out my lower chest. So within the same day, we'll move on to the back exercises, keeping in mind that the first muscle group that you tackle within that day is gonna be where you're the strongest, which is why we push the chest first. So for back, we're doing a bent over row, again, trying to keep as good form as possible and focusing on that long, deep stretch. Now, as an optional, you could end up adding in a dumbbell incline row, which is basically just the same thing, but kind of on a bench. So it really focuses on the back. At this moment, I did want to also mention I got my hands on some VersaGrips. I won't go into too much detail, but let me just tell you, these things are incredible. They basically take grip out of the equation, which is perfect for me because of my light carpal tunnel. My wrists suck. But moving on, we're gonna be doing a cable seated row, again focusing on a super deep stretch. This one I really like the way that it feels. And finally finishing with a lat pull down, again focusing on that super deep stretch. Believe you me, if you do this properly, I have never felt pain in my lats like I have doing it this way. Moving on to arms, and this is where things get a little bit different. One of my favorite types of workouts is called My Rep Max or MRM. Basically what you do with this is only one exercise per muscle group. You're essentially going to be setting the rep range within the first set, pushing yourself to failure, and then you're going to mimic that with 2 more sets. Within those 2 extra sets, however, you are allowed to take brief pauses. The point is you have to hit that number. So find a weight that works and push yourself up until 30 reps maximum. If you find that you can go over 30 reps, it means that you gotta increase the weight. So first we start out with an incline dumbbell curl, and you can see that I'm only using 10-pound weights. I wasn't kidding when I said that you're gonna be leaving your ego at the door. Then we're gonna be doing a cable tricep push down, which again, focusing on the deep stretch. The only cue that I can really give you for this one is to try your best to keep your elbows as close behind you as possible, which is a bit hard to see at this angle. And then we've got the shoulder raises, which, oh my God, I both love and hate this exercise just because of the pain that it brings me. So again, it's not the best angle, but you can see with that slow, drawn out, eccentric movement, oh my God, it feels so bad and good. And what's really fun is once you finish your 3-set My Rep Max, you're gonna be doing lat raises without any weights. And the important thing is that you're going to stop your arms at about a 45-degree angle and then go back up. You do not allow yourself to get into a rested position, and man, this hurts. So day 3 is actually going to be back and chest day, basically being the exact exercises we already tackled. Some stuff might change a bit, but most of all, it's that we're gonna be tackling the back before the chest. Same with day 4 being shoulders and then bicep and tricep. But what if we're not doing a My Rep Max on arm day? then what other exercises would we do? So you would still end up doing the incline curl, but in addition, you would be adding the Bayesian curl, I think this is called. Ideally, you have a better cable machine where you can tackle both arms at the same time. And as you can see, this is a big stretch for the bicep that goes long behind the chest. You could also do a standing curl variation like this, which is not my favorite because I find that it contracts my chest and makes it difficult to breathe, but it's still a very good bicep exercise. Tricep, we would still end up doing the push down, but we would also add in skull crushers. The variation that I'm doing here is instead of the weights going against my head, they're going against my neck. I find that this is a lot less strain on the elbow, but still gets the same results for the tricep. And finally, we would be doing a overhead press, which I don't have footage of. Shoulders, we would still do the lat raise, obviously. But in addition, we would do a dumbbell bench reverse fly, which again, I'm missing footage, and ending with a bench seated press. And finally, leg day. And believe you me, okay, I know that this is gonna seem strange. Can you actually get a good leg pump without using huge compound lifts? Yes, you can. So we're gonna be starting with a dumbbell deadlift, and this is specifically so that we can fry our legs for the next exercises. Next being a dumbbell lunge, but what we're gonna be doing slightly different is you're gonna be making sure that whichever foot you're doing your lunge with is going to end up being on a mat or something that's at least 3 inches off the ground. For whatever reason, this really helps with the stretch. And lastly is going to be body weight squats. Yes. Body weight squats. You can see I'm using like the smallest dumbbells imaginable. That's just so that I can get my heels off of the ground. The main tip that I can give you guys for this is you're actually not going to lock your knees. You're gonna go just before you would lock your knees and then go right back into a slow, controlled, deep squat. This will kick your ass. Keep your chest up, keep your arms out, don't look down at the ground, look straight ahead, and only lock out your knees if you absolutely need to take like a 5 to 10 second break, but then you get right back at it. When I'm doing all of my exercises, it takes 45 minutes to an hour to get through a full set. Whereas with the MyRep Max, it usually takes under 30 minutes, but kicks my ass all the same. Personally, I'm all about efficiency, and I like the fact that I don't have to be in the gym all goddamn day. I do wish that we had some compound lifting stuff. I would love to be doing heavier squats. But unfortunately, we don't have any of that equipment in our condo, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Saves me money on the gym anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much what my workouts look like right now. I would appreciate if you smash like, sub for more, even though these videos are very uncommon. I do genuinely hope that you enjoyed this video because these are few and far between because there's not much to report because progression is very slow. It takes a while to build up muscle unless you're just starting out, then you'll get what's called noob gains. But in any case, if you want to watch more of my content, YouTube recommends this one right here, or you can check out my most recent upload right over here. Once again, if you want to know the ins and outs of all the stuff that I talked about with a bit more clarity, check out Mike Gives Rattel.